Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Ankita Yethuri, scholar, Department of Continuing Education and Extension, working under Professor Rajesh. My the topic. I'm a PhD scholar, so my topic of the thesis of my top. The topic of my thesis is role of non-government organization in enhancing skills and employability among differently able in Delhi. So, so may I start with introduction?
Yes, you start.
So, when I said disability, a person suffers from disability of any kind when he suffers from a mental or physical disorder of any kind which affects his or her regular day-to-day tasks, either in short term or in long term. So, when the person suffers from disability, the first thing which help him is the empowerment. And when I say empowerment, it essentially means the empowerment from any kind of social exclusion. And when I said social exclusion, the terms under social exclusion comes are caste, race, religion, gender, and physiological prejudice. So when social exclusion is at another level, the social exclusion, the lack of deprivation of wealth, rights, and services which are not provided to the differently able. So, in this context, the person suffers from all kind, whether it's social, it is cultural, or political and economical. All kind of difficulties is difficulties the one person suffers. So, at the formal setup, government schemes are there for the differently able from since independence all the schemes are there. So if I say from 1941 to 1971 the schemes are not in place. So after 1980 and 1981 international years of disability have been celebrated. So they in India also they felt a need for differently able persons. So comes the 1995 act, but it has loopholes. Though the acts provide various facilities to the differently able person, but still they are having various loopholes. So in 2012, there's another act or rather a bill came as with the name of Right of Persons with Disabilities, and it became a law or act in 2016. But after 2016 RPWD Act bill, still the disabled are not come under the mainstream society. Matlab they are is till now till then they are a part of isolated. So they are the isolated ones. Still they are not come under the mainstream. So if they have to come under the mainstream, employment is a prominent area where they is an essential which led them to fight it out and which help them to generate self-sufficiency, social satisfaction, and generates high self-esteems. And when I said employment, it's not in the formal setup. There are provisions, but the disabled are not incorporated in it. So the informal setup is another area where the reach is at larger level. So vocational trainings is one of the area where the disabled persons encompasses. Uh, when I say the government have the responsibility to protect and promote a disabled person by incorporating or integrating the comprehensive by applying the comprehensive approach for the differently able, because the potential of differently able are not utilized or explored in the fully when in the fuller context. uh, so here the role of NGO become very prominent, and not only NGO, the civil society organization are also providing various kinds of opportunities to the differently able persons to enable them to so that they can come in the mainstreams. And So from literature review, in the literature review, it is the role of non-governmental organizations. Mazibuko highlighted in 2000 highlighted the role of NGOs which are working in the field of education of developing countries. It stated that the NGOs are dependent on largely because if you see these are the voluntary organizations, so they are largely dependent on the donations. The next is the Gandhi and Jadhav in 2000. They also highlighted the need of partnership between government organization and non-government organization. Here, it is seen that the non-government organization are very in minimal engagement with the NGOs, and there should be a connectivity so that the welfare administration in the country should be run effectively. In the 2014 study, this is studied. It is stated that there should be a greater transparency and accountability in the fund utilization. So, so it will lead to the good governance as well as various guidelines to maintain the same. In the 2013 study, it is highlighted the importance of the welfare aspects of the from the civil society and the NGOs, which in the Indian, which are in working in the Indian context. So, in the 2015 study, the role of NGOs in promotion of inclusion of visually impaired children in West Bengal. So the study stated that though there are various schemes which the NGOs are applying, still they are not benefited because they have a very less reach. The reach is very less. In the 2011 study, it is they discussed the identification of camps that are conducted the government and the non-governmental organization in India. In 2012, the mainstreaming of vocational with education mainstreaming vocational education is equally important so that it could develop a person's capabilities, not only capacity but also capabilities. Research objective. The research objective of my study are there are 5 research objectives. First one is to study the structure, nature, and practices existing in the voluntary sector with reference to the organization for differently abled. To examine the contribution of non-governmental organization in improving the condition of visually and physically impaired people. To assess the social perception of differently able. Here, I mean the social perception of differently able from the eyes of differently abled only. To study the benefits of training programs undertaken by the non-governmental organization in order to provide skills and employability to the beneficiaries. And last one, to study the scope of the rights of persons with disabilities 2016 with reference to skills development of visually and physically impaired people. Here, I mean, it is based, if I give a gist of the objective, it is need and knowledge based. So what is the needs and what is the knowledge about all these things is what the objective suggests. So I have 3 research questions. First one is the role of voluntary sector in order to generate employability through competency skills for visually and physically impaired people. What is the take of inmates? Inmates, I mean the beneficiaries who are taking the training from the organizations, or differently able persons regarding the kind of skills provided to them by the organization. And third one is the scope of RPWD Act 2016 with reference to skill development to differently able person. So I have 4 hypotheses in my study. The first hypothesis is that there's a significant impact on contribution of the non-governmental organization and improving the conditions of visually and physically impaired people. The second one is there is a significant difference in social perception of differently able. The third one is there's a significant impact of training programs undertaken by the non-governmental organization in order to provide skills and employability to the beneficiaries. And the last one is there is significant difference in the factors which motivate the disabled for the vocational training. So the research methodology, my methodology is exploratory in nature. Qualitative methodology is used to collect the primary data from the respondents in Delhi. For the study, I have taken help of the emancipatory research for generating a clear picture from the organization and beneficiaries. So the sample and sample size. The sample sizes, purposive sampling methods have been used for the study. So firstly, I have taken 10 and non-governmental organization. Firstly, I have selected 10 non-governmental organization, and the selection criteria was that the range of who are working exclusively for the visually as well as physically disabled. Secondly, the range of training activities. What are the training activities which are provided for both of the persons with both the disabilities? And the third, that these are the, but the problem is that it is quite challenging for me to find the locations, as there were some organization where there were no people, and it's quite challenging for me. However, after some times, I have identified several voluntary organizations. The main sources were NGO websites and through telephonic conversation with the managers itself. And thirdly, I have tried to take cover all the districts of Delhi. So north, south, east, west is the consideration. Finally, I've selected 6 NGOs with the with the technique of snowballing techniques. So the 6 NGOs were registered under the PWD Act 1995, and I have taken as a sample size 200. People are selected, 50 males and 50 females for physically, and 50 males and 50 females for the visually impaired. So, and because the interview schedules are 2, I have taken 2 interview schedules, first for the organization and the second one was for the beneficiary. So when I take from the organization, it is taken by either by the head or coordinator or executive and staff members. So the present study okay, the data collection methods is both qualitative as well as quantitative methods have been used to collect and analyze the data. So both for the actually I've simple table and diagrams have been in form of qualitative, and then statistical tool have been used. Both two-way tables were prepared for each question. Two-way tables were prepared. The qualitative information is collected. So the qualitative information is collected either group discussion, diary, and participatory organization, and then which is later it is encompasses with the statistical results. So if you can see in this slide, these are the 6 NGOs which I have taken. So these are the indicators. So in the 6 NGOs are Viklang Sahara Samiti, Samarthanam Trust, Sarthak Education Trust, Blind Relief Association, AICB, and NAB for Women. So if I talk about the organization, the first organization is working for the welfare and education of vocational. They are providing, basically working for the vocational development. Samarthanam is actually working for making India inclusive for inclusive education. They are working. The Sarthak is basically working for the rehabilitation process. The fourth one is Blind Relief Association, which is primarily working for the empowerment of visually impaired. And AICB is a body of visually impaired people who are working for visually impaired people. And last one is the NAB, which is Association for the Women, so working exclusively for the women who have suffering from visual disability. So the address is shown, and the objectives of almost all the 6 NGOs are to work for equal opportunity, to make them a contributing member for the society, and to create an inclusive environment, as well as to facilitating access to improvement in their life and make them in the mainstream. So the courses which the 6 NGOs have been provided are largely the same, because they are either computer education, which are provided by almost all the NGOs, and other are vocational training courses like cutting, tailoring, or spoken English, digital literacy programs, paper mache, paper bag making. When I said in the so in the AICB, Braille stenography, computer training, crisis management, orientation and mobility, and soft skill programs. So if you can see in this table, at what level they are working. So largely the NGOs are working at local and local or national level, and only one NGO which is doing it international also. The projects which are they are taken are largely skill development, and or this school, they are running a school or space for colleges for special education of visual impairment, and integration projects which are integrated with the education of normal and disabled persons. So if you can see the donations, it's largely the NGOs are largely based on donations. So either it is individuals, or some some big finances have been contributing towards the donation. The last one is the evaluation. The evaluation process is simple. They are accounting, auditing, and bookkeeping is same for all the NGOs. So from the here the it is for the beneficiary. I started for the beneficiaries. So in this you can see the gender distribution, as I have already said, that the distribution is 100 for males and 100 for females, so it is 50-50. So in this the religion distribution, religion is largely the persons are Hindus 60%, then Muslims 26%, then Christian are 1%, 6 are 10%, and 3% are any other. Qualification background, if you see the beneficiaries are having 33% are having a matriculation, then 39 are intermediate, graduation, and post. Some of them are post. 6% are post graduation also. So if I say in this the almost all the beneficiaries are taking training, and 11% out of them are also studying. So 97% are unmarried or single, and only 3% of them are married. So in this, the siblings part, the siblings are 4 to 6. 80% of are having a 4 to 6 between siblings between 4 to 6, and only 20% are there who have siblings or 6 and above. So here the family size of large 80% of these are 4 to 6, and 18% are 6 and above, and only 2% who have 8 and above. So annual income of the family is 40% is 40% is between 50,000 to 75,000, 33% is above 75 and above, and 27% is 25,000 to 50,000. So this is all what I have already said. So here I have, as I have spoken, that I have taken only 2 kinds of disability, but disability that is visually and physically. So the 100 are from locomotor disability, and the rest. So in 100 also I have divided it total blindness, which is 55, and low vision, which is 45. So the reason of their disability is only out of 82 persons are there who are born with the disability, and 117 or 100 are with the disability, accidental disability. Matlab they are born normally and then they have problems, start having problems, and then or accidental, so they are suffering from disability. So if they are in any medical treatment, so 55% says yes they were in or they are in medical treatment, and 45 said they don't have any medical, they have not been in any medical treatment. So here, use appliances. So appliances is, if I give an example, appliances as stick or a screen reader which the visually impaired use. So 62% are there who are using the appliances, while the 38% doesn't use any appliances. Okay. So how did they get the appliances? So mostly 82% said that they have provided appliances by the government NGOs only. Only 18% said that they have self-purchased the appliances. Okay. Getting any benefits besides the organization. So they 60% are getting benefits, and when I said getting benefits outside the organization, it is largely on the basis of the disability pension which they are getting every month. So it is, which varies from state to state or national to state, which varies, but they are 60% are getting benefits. So how did they got to know about this organization? So 50% said that they come through government advertisement, and some 26 have their they have known already, so they have an idea. Some by their friends, some other 7% come 7% are from friends or relatives, and only 5% knows by media. So these basically these are the programs which these are the programs where the beneficiaries have been enrolled, and this is a list: BPO training, visually impaired workshop training, then paper measure work, language resource center, massage, computer, shorthand typing, and candle making, orientation and mobility, spoken language, chair caning, and any other. So in this, you can see on the basis of enrollment, 23% respondents are enrolled in BPO training, while 5% respondents are enrolled in visually impaired workshop training, 11% are enrolled in paper making craft, 5% are in massage training. So 27% in computer training, 13% have been in short hand typing, 5% were chair caning, and rest the 6% are enrolled in spoken language. So when I asked whether they stay in the organization or not, so they 72% are living with the within the organization, and 28 are nearby organization. 28% are nearby their organization. So it is, they are very happy about the organization. It's largely they are happy about the organization. So here, there in this diagram, you can see the accommodation facilities which have been provided to them by the organization. So here are the indicators, which are washroom and accessible toilets, light, wheelchair, bed, furniture, assistive technology, computer and software, classroom, vocational center, training. These are braille print, teaching aid, food and dining facilities, and wash basin. These are daily activities, transport facilities, audio visual aid. So you can this. So what do you do after this course? Matlab, after this course, when I asked them about what do you do, so largely the beneficiaries want to do business, and 18% only want to do job. So when I asked about the society towards them, the attitude of society, so these are the indicators: communication and interaction, inclusive education, job opportunities, transport and building and infrastructure. So largely are satisfied, as you can see. As you can see, 182%, 82 respondents are satisfied with the communication and interaction, 192 are with the inclusive education, and 110 are satisfied with the job opportunities, and 100 satisfied by 17 satisfied with the transport facilities, and 15 were 115 were satisfied by the building and infrastructure. Rest are not satisfied or cannot say. So it is in this diagram, it is basically a legal, based on the legal premises. So here, if they have a knowledge of or the awareness about the acts or schemes for the different levels, so here I have a criteria. Vocational rehabilitation, they have an, or PWD acts which can avail them a reservation, special employment exchange drives, access to information technology, government-based exclusive programs for different level, no discrimination policy, then equal opportunity, programs of self-employment, and scheme for giving national awards to the persons who are doing excellent in their field. So in from the previous slide, you can see the findings. These are the acts. 186 respondents were aware about the vocational training. 200, matlab all the respondents were aware about that they can avail reservation from the government of India. Only 40% are having knowledge about spatial employment exchange, which are there for the different level. And ICT, 192 are known to ICT, and 180 respondents are aware about the government-based school skill training in the labor market. 200 are fully aware about the non-discrimination policy. So they are aware about the, and largely in equal opportunity policy of the government are also known by the beneficiaries. But the self-employment startups, when I said startup, only 10% respondents know about the startups. So and 27% are aware about the out of 200, only 27% are aware about the government schemes of giving national awards to the outstanding employees. So what is the factors that motivate them in vocational training? The first one is, if awareness about being an independent, then it is easier to find a job, earn money for their life, and become a social integral part of society. So you can see that 180 are aware. You can see that 180 respondents are agreed to that they're aware about the financial independent, and 188 respondents are aware about agreed that it is easier to find a job after they get vocational training. So and 198 respondents are aware that it better life, that the life will become better after vocational training, and 188 says that they become an integral part of the society after taking vocational training. So if, as I have already said, that I have taken 4 hypotheses. So the first hypothesis is the significant impact of contribution of non-governmental organization in improving the conditions of visually impaired people. So here I used regression analysis, and here the constant variable is the contribution of non-governmental organization, and the dependent variable is the condition of visually and physically impaired people. So here you can see the value of P is less than 0.5, which is 0.00. So here the null hypothesis is rejected and alternative hypothesis is accepted. The second hypothesis is the significant difference in the social perception of differently able. Here, ANOVA is being used between groups. So here also the value of P, F is the value of F is 12.123, and the value of P is still less than 0.5. So which is statistically significant. Then therefore null hypothesis is rejected, and therefore it is concluded that significant difference in the social perception of the differently abled. The third one is the significant impact of training program undertaken by the non-governmental organization in order to provide skill and employability to the beneficiaries. Here also regression analysis is used. The constant variable is training programs, and the dependent variable is skill and employability. From the above, you can see that here also the the value of P is 0.00. Therefore, null hypothesis is rejected and alternative hypothesis is accepted. The fourth one, the it is the last one, the significant difference in the factors which motivate the person uh, to be in the vocational training. It is here I used ANOVA. It is between groups. So here also the value of F is 10.223 and P is here also P is 0.00, which is less than 0.5. Therefore, null hypothesis is rejected and it is concluded that the significant difference in the factors which motivate differently abled for the vocational training. So at last, the conclusion and recommendation. So if disabled person could be considered as disabled persons are most vulnerable community among the minority. So the various effective measures involving government should be taken, involving government agencies, public sector, NGOs, and society in general. So not only the the government should revise the existing before making any act or law or plans. They should revise and those which are existing ones. So if I say from the concluding part, majority, if you say uh, from the data I've collected, majority of the respondents are agreed or being financially independent become it is to find a job, better life, and better integral part of the society on the basis of so you can see in this that they have an awareness about the governmental functioning, that they can avail reservations and have access to ICT and government based exclusive training program. Yes, and no discrimination policy and should have an equal opportunity. Lastly, the recommendations. Organizations or schools which provide educational services should teach the children, the persons with disabilities. With the education, they should have teach them communication skills as well as vocational skills, so that they can become self-reliant. And those the disabled who are isolated or having problems, behavioral problems, should be given counseling, cognitive and behavioral therapies, and in an appropriate manner. The families of the PWD should provide a conducive environment to them, and society at large should provide a stimulating environment and positive supports from the community will help them to become an integral part of society, as well as develop them to full potential to lead fulfilling lives. So these are some references which have been used. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Ankita,
Yes.
you have presented your case.
Yes,
You
sir.
have added the entire components of the study
Yes, sir. All the.
as part of recommendation.
Yes, sir.
What are the key aspects that you are recommending? Uh, any one or two focused recommendation of your study that you could remember out of your presentation that this could be done. You have done on how many organizations?
So 6.
6 organizations.
Yes.
And by and large in Delhi, how many organizations are working?
Sir, 45 plus.
45 plus.
Yes, sir.
So,
Which are registered under the Act.
Okay, registered. So one question could be that how you could select that organization that you have selected out of 45, you say. How you zeroed down that organization? What was the methodology you adopted to select the organization you have taken?
Sir, the method is actually I've already shown in the PPT that those who are exclusively working for them for the visually as well as physically impaired. So first reason is that, and the another is by the vocational training. What kind the vocational trainings programs which are, so these are uh, the factors. And the third one is I have those who have, I have the reach towards them because I have went it, and I have challenges I have that I visited there and they were not, the NGO was not there. So I've taken telephonic conversation. So I've tried to snowball method have been used. So I've tried to collect those who are making me unable to enter in their organization. So these are three factors.
Okay, you have adopted the snowball techniques and inclusion criteria
Yes.
that you have already, listed for that kind of a thing, So under that inclusion criteria, you have taken up because it is also very challenging that how you could get the,
Yes, sir.
kind.
Even if I go, the people are not matlab they are not allowing, they are not very open about that. If someone come in their organization to collect some personal data, I mean they are thinking that it is a personal data and we should not give them. So it is also.
Okay, okay. So as part of recommendation,
Yes, sir.
Ankita, it might be that at national level, this among the larger sample, this could be done so that
Sir,
more better results could come.
yes, sir. Sir, as a part of recommendation, I have confined myself to the organization, or I said I have confined myself those who are only taking the courses. I have not gone outside those who have already taken courses or have been in in other organization working. I have not taken the persons who are working. So I've only confined myself those who are on a doing courses there. So
Okay.
recommendation is that if the study can go further,
Yeah.
I can take those who are already placed somewhere after taking these courses. Those who are placed somewhere, so the next step could be to them. I can collect data from there.
Okay. Okay. That's very good. Ankita, you have also some publications in this area.
So I have two publications.
Yeah.
So the topic is teachers' perception of the differently abled. Here I have taken and another is community engagement towards differently abled. So here the in the second one, uh, uh, college students have been college students were used to collect the data, and the first one, the teachers were, what is the perception of differently able student. So these are the two research papers, and one I have presented in the Punjab University.
Paper you had presented in Punjab. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I think scholars, you are requested to kindly, ask any questions, anything, your suggestion, your submission to Ankita regarding her topic of PhD. Any question, any suggestion, any aspect that you'd like to tell to Ankita as part of her study? Yes, I think some. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, I am Avdesh here, sir.
Avdesh, yes, yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, my suggestion to Ankita is
Yes, sir.
that what the topic, what the organization she has taken, the 6 organizations she has mentioned. But I think, may I know, she has mentioned the name of the 45 organization and in which area they are functioning. Have you mentioned that one?
No, sir, I have not mentioned.
So better you suggest, take that, it's my suggestion. You have to
Okay,
mention the name of these organizations and in
Okay.
which area they are functioning. That will be also your area to know others that these organizations are working in that area.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
You incorporate in that. Have you incorporated in this?
No, sir, I have not written much. I have a list of 45 NGOs, but what are they doing? I have not, so I can
But
incorporate.
this 6 NGO you have incorporated, na?
Yes, sir. The
Okay.
6 NGO.
6 you have incorporated,
Yes.
and you have mentioned that how many are working.
Yes, sir. I
Okay.
have. Yes.
Okay. Okay. No problem. Anybody else? कोई और सवाल, कुछ और सबमिशन? अंकिता, ऐसा कर सकते हो
जी सर।
कि ये जो अवधेश जी ने कहा है ना कि जो तुम एनेक्स्चर्स दे रहे हो ना,
हाँ जी।
जो मेन 6 है वो तो तुम्हारा बॉडी में आना चाहिए।
जी सर।
वो है ऑलरेडी।
हाँ जी।
जो बाकी है वो एनेक्स्चर में तुम ला सकते हो।
ओके।
लिस्ट ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस वर्किंग इन द एरिया विद देयर डिटेल्स। तो पार्ट ऑफ एनेक्स्चर्स जैसे कुछ तुम्हें लगा रहे होगे, तुम एक्ट का भी एनेक्स्चर लगा देना जो लेटेस्ट है, और इसके अलावा तुम्हें पब्लिकेशन का भी लगाना पड़ता है, शायद बताएंगे स्कॉलर। यू विल हैव टू ऐड द पब्लिकेशंस आल्सो। बिब्लियोग्राफी के बाद जो लगेंगे वो उसमें आपको ये 45 वाला जो अवधेश जी ने कहा है ये पार्ट ऑफ एनेक्स्चर लगा देना।
यस सर।
और बाकी तो पेपर आपको कंपल्सरी लगाना है, 2 पेपर इस तरह का करना है।
2 पेपर।
ठीक है
सर, तो आई हैव 3 मंथ्स टाइम।
बाय एंड लार्ज आपके पास 3 मंथ्स का टाइम है। इसमें थोड़ा और मतलब अपने आप को कर लो। फाइनली होना चाहिए, कोशिश होना चाहिए कि एरर फ्री हो, लैंग्वेज वाइज ग्रामेटिकली ठीक ठाक हो, और जो मेन एस्पेक्ट है प्लेगरिज्म आपको पता होगा कि इट शुड बी लेस देन 10%।
यस।
तो वो चीजें जो है ये सारे कंपोनेंट्स भी आप पे भी लागू होंगे। तो वो सारे प्लेगरिज्म के लिए तो बाद में जाएगा। एक बार आप रिविजिट करके दोबारा एक बार आप सेव कर लेंगे। ये जो वो है 45 का, इसको आप इंक्लूड भी कर देंगे, और उसके बाद फाइनली otherwise you have a very good presentation. You have added methodology also very good, and I think your presentation and things that you have added was rather more than my expectation, and your presentation was also very, very confident. So keep it up and continue to be there, unless anybody has to I don't think so. Others have gone through your PPT, and if anybody will wish, you can share the PPT also for future. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Then I think best of everything.
Thank you, sir.
And please continue, and as per the suggestion, you do it accordingly. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.